Hello and welcome to this webinar, which is starting out as a virtual assistant, or for those of you who are thinking of going from being a PA to VA. This is the initial steps to creating your virtual assistant business. At the beginning, my name's Amanda Johnson and I am a virtual assistant coach, mentor and trainer. The big thing I'm trying to do is to empower virtual assistants to be authentic and awesome, because when they're that, they have a much better business and they're able to support their clients in a much better way. Since we don't have long though together, I've pulled together a resource for you and you can download it and get your common questions answered. So during this session, I'm going to do a very quick canter through these topics. These are the key areas that I think you should research before you launch your VA. So first off, research is giving us that there are three main types of virtual assistants. We have career VAs, and this is somebody who's in it for the long haul, who wants to replace a career or who's looking to replicate their income goals. We then have short-term virtual assistants. These generally tend to be people who are looking for a new career, but only for 5 to 10 years. Often this is the maturer person who, for whatever reason, still needs to work, still needs to have an income, but actually they no longer want to answer to somebody else. And then we have the hobby VAs. And what I share with you during our time together is relevant irrespective of which of those categories you fall into. Now please, there will be career VAs out there who only want to work 2 to 3 days a week. And so I'm not trying to insult them when I talk about these things. But it is critical to see that the rules, the regulations are there irrespective of the type of business that actually you want to run. Now, it is worth reminding you that there's no right or wrong answer. This is your business, so you get to choose how you operate it. What we're finding though is there are 5 specialisms for the VA industry: traditional PAs, technical, social media, lifestyle, and then something known as a super VA. The traditional VA is a self-employed PA with a background in PA or secretarial roles. They'll work from home, communicating with their clients by telephone, email, Skype, and will do the type of things that you would expect a PA to do in the office. The techie VA, or sometimes known as a geeky VA, is going to be somebody who's technically minded. So apart from the traditional PA services, they'll manage the more technical aspects of a business's tools. So this could be creating websites, it could be creating landing pages, lead pages, working with their lead magnets, sales funnels. While a social media VA is going to be somebody who specialises in social media support as part of the client's marketing strategy. The lifestyle VA, this is more like a personal concierge service, and this is where people could be supporting individuals not only in their professional lives but in their personal lives too. While a super VA is somebody who will do a little bit of everything. And what I have found over the past 5 years is a lot of small business owners want somebody who is happy to roll up their sleeves and get involved with the business. So although they may have particular key strengths in one of those specialisms, they're actually happy to get involved in the whole business gambit. And then from a status perspective, sole traders, limited companies and partnerships. There's no right or wrong answer. It's got to be what's right for you. So let's talk about you. Understanding your big why is absolutely critical. You need to understand why you want to become a virtual assistant. Think back to the types of VAs I mentioned: career, 5 to 10 years, hobby VAs. What is it that you want? What's your big vision? And when you've achieved it, what will it give you? Perhaps you're an entrepreneur at heart, or somebody who is looking for a flexible career to fit around your lifestyle. Maybe you have young children and you want to be able to work while the children are at school. Perhaps you're a mature person who actually wants the flexibility to take the time to travel the world. Maybe you're somebody who just wants to control how much they work. Perhaps you're facing redundancy, and this is giving you the opportunity to seek new opportunities. Maybe you work in an organisation where there's a lack of flexibility, and flexibility is the thing that you're looking for. So what I'd like you to do is to ask yourself, what is it you're trying to achieve? What's the big vision? And once you've got that big vision, what motivates you? What will keep you focused? What will becoming a virtual assistant give you? Will it meet the needs that you're trying to fulfill? And then ask yourself, if you don't take any action, what is the impact? What will happen? How will you feel? And from there, you can see the type of role or the type of VA business you would like to have. People often say to me, what services should I offer? Well, my question to you would be, what are you great at? What are your skills? And then there will be things that you can offer now, and there'll be things that you need to learn and you'll want to offer in the future. Don't panic. You don't have to offer everything on day one. Sometimes we can get a little bit complacent. We think we can do everything, but actually the reality is we can't. So one of the exercises I get new virtual assistants to do, or those who are thinking of joining the industry to do, is to evaluate their skill set. So what I'd like you to do is to Google and look at lots and lots of VAs' websites. And when you're looking at them, we're going to write 3 lists. The first list is a list of the services that they offer that you can do and that you love to do. It really makes your heart sing when you get to do those jobs. I'd then like you to write a second list. It's a list of the services that they offer that you can do, but you don't really enjoy doing. You might go as far as to say you hate doing them. And then I'd like you to write a third list. The third list is a list of the services that they offer that you currently don't know how to do. Now let's start with that third list, because I always think that's the easiest list. So it's a list of services that they offer that you currently don't know how to do. So we'll call this your skills gap. And for your VA business, we need to either allocate time, effort, resources, perhaps money, into learning how to do those services, or we find somebody else to deliver them on our behalf, but still under the umbrella of our business. Or thirdly, we just don't offer that service. Now, another reason I get virtual assistants to do this is because I want them to look at the language that other virtual assistants are using to describe the services that they do. So if we come back to the first 2 lists, the can do and the love to do, and the can do but don't really enjoy doing. Well, when we're employed and somebody else is paying us a wage, there are often things that we don't really enjoy doing. But when it's your own business and somebody is paying you what you're worth, then actually the thing that you don't really enjoy doing, you might find you're happy to do. because it's your business and it's a means to an end, and it might be the sort of intro into the door of working with somebody that you've been looking for. But you need to know what those things are, because ultimately when we can do something and we love doing it, actually we're great at selling it. We're so much more passionate about delivering the services that we want to deliver. So once you know what your skill sets are, you can look to see who you want to support. And then you can identify, is there a marketplace for somebody to particularly buy that service? And do you have experience already in that marketplace? People often want to know, is the marketplace saturated with VAs? And the short answer is no. But if I'm honest, no one really knows how many virtual assistants there are, as there isn't an easy tick box to tick that everybody says, hey, I'm a virtual assistant. There are so many different names out there. So when you're a VA, the title is not as important as you might think it is. Because actually, first and foremost, you're a business owner. And now that you're the business owner, you can call yourself absolutely anything you want because you own the business. And it's not really about the title, it's about what you do for your clients. So for some people, the phrase virtual assistant is more about the fact that you're virtual and not co-located with the client. Now, I personally think the phrase is a little bit like a label, and it's about using the phrases that your ideal clients are going to find themselves attracted to. So if you think that your ideal client is more likely to put into Google or any other search engine freelance PA, perhaps that's how you need to describe yourself. For me, the phrase virtual assistant, and it's becoming more common for people to think about, is the fact that it means somebody is a self-employed professional who has a background in the PA EA skill set. They can work virtually anywhere in the world, and they'll work with individuals, corporates and business owners. But in your particular situation, think back to the previous screen, think about the skills that you have identified as being your particular strengths, and think about the language that your ideal clients are using and what they're looking for, and give yourself a label that fits with that particular situation. When planning this business and creating this virtual assistant business, what I want you to think about is the structure of your business. There's no right or wrong answer as to whether you should be a sole trader or a limited company. There are pros and cons to both, and so research is absolutely key to knowing which type of business is right for you, and it will link into the type and level of income you're trying to achieve. But if you're wondering, do you need a business plan? The answer is yes. Because let me ask you, how will you know you have got to where you want to get to if you don't have a plan? A business plan for your business is a little bit like a sat-nav. It doesn't have to be a tomb of a document. My first business plan was about 20 pages long and it lived in the bottom drawer of my desk. And I didn't touch it for years because it was a really impractical document. So instead, what I'd rather you do is create something that you will use. 1 to 2 pages that just captures the key things. Think about your vision. Where would you like to be in 10 years' time, 5 years' time, 3 years, and 12 months from today? Once you've created that plan of where you'd like to be 12 months from today, you can create 90-day action plans. And then once you've got your 90-day action plan, you can break it down into the tasks. Now, if you're still employed, you might want to plan when you'd like to launch your VA business and whether that's on a full-time basis or a part-time basis. Or you might want to plan when you're going to leave your day job. But don't panic, these plans can be changed. They're just a framework for us to work towards. But everything you do, both on and offline in your VA business, needs to be part of a strategy. So yes, you need to have a business plan. And you need to have a plan for each component of your VA business. Now, each component of your VA business is a little bit like the departments in a business. You may be a one-man band, but you are the director of that business. You are the shareholder, the task force, the marketing director, the finance director, the social media manager. The list goes on. But you need to know what it is you're working towards. So let's take this back to you again and what it is you're trying to achieve. What motivates you? Are you trying to integrate this VA business with your life? You need to know what you're going to be motivated by though. Is it money? Is it better balance around your family? Your business may start now to fit in around your family or give you the opportunity to travel the world. It might be you just want to work a normal 9 till 5 and only answer to yourself. This is your business. So the practicalities of setting up a VA business is that actually you need very little. The basics are you need a computer, the internet, telephone, insurance, data protection, and then your legals in place. But actually you don't have to know every different software that's out there. And setting up a VA business is not your excuse to go shopping, unfortunately, for a stationery addict like myself. And once you've got the basics in place, you do need to have a website, social media profiles, a logo and business cards. Because actually, when you meet people, what they want to be able to do is to go and check you out. And by having a website and social media profiles and things like a business card, that gives them the social media proof or the social proof that you can do what you say you can. Now, as a virtual assistant, you're first and foremost a business owner. So we are in this to make money. We do have bills to pay. People say to me, how much will I earn? Well, I'm going to turn that question around and say, how much do you need to earn? But also, how much would you love to earn? The reality is, the question should be is, how hard do you want to work? I know VAs who are earning nothing. But I also know VAs who are earning 6 figures. Now, I'm certainly not going to promise you 6 figures tomorrow. It takes an awful lot of hard work to get there. And there's something like less than 5% of virtual assistants in the UK earning that level of income. What I would say to you though, is you do need to charge your worth. And the VAs I work with generally range from £25 per hour to £50 per hour for VA support, depending on their skills and their expertise. But it's really important to charge your worth. Often, when VAs start out, they think they need to charge very low. But the reality is, it's hard to increase if you're too cheap. And actually, too cheap puts off the really good clients. So take the time to work out your pricing, decide if you want to be paid by the minute or the hour or in packages, and whether people are going to pay in advance or in arrears. Remember, this is your VA business and you get to choose. Do you need training, coaching, mentoring? Creating a VA business is no different to any other business. So the reality is, if you were setting up any other business, you would get support. And depending on your experiences, that may take a variety of formats. But I love these reasons why somebody might look to work with a coach or a mentor. I found them in a recent article. They were to brainstorm brilliance, to bounce ideas off somebody else, to be accountable, and to receive guidance. Now, as part of this summit, you have heard from some great trainers, mentors, and you will hear from other great ones today. The big thing is people buy people. So if you're thinking you're wanting to work with somebody to help build your VA business, you might want to just think about what is it you're looking for when you're talking to the people. You want to ascertain a coach or a trainer or a mentor's knowledge and their experience as a small business owner and as a coach and a trainer. You need to find somebody that you know, like and trust. What do other people say about working with them? Are they deemed an expert by others? As I said right at the very beginning, I work with my clients in a hybrid mode. I work as their coach, their mentor, their trainer, and even as a consultant. And this means that I offer them the best of both professions, the advice and expertise when they need it, motivation and brainstorming when they're stuck, and an insight to build their business to the highest potential. Now, I've done an absolute quick canter through some of the things that you might want to think about when you set up as a virtual assistant. And so I realised that I may have left you with some questions. So on the screen right now is the ways in which you can contact me. I'm true to actually my motto, which is that I'm passionate about inspiring, challenging and supporting virtual assistants. And actually, I want to empower you to be an authentic and awesome VA. Thank you.